to this girl.
All right, so I'm here with Buddy from Less Than Jake. So Buddy, can you tell me what going green means to you?
Well, that could mean a lot of things. That could be green with envy, but
environmentally friendly.
Yeah, as far as you're concerned, it means, well, I mean, it can mean a lot of things to a lot of people, but I mean, doing as much as you can is the most important thing. And I know the whole, what is it, reduce, reuse, recycle?
Exactly.
And I definitely recycle at home pretty much everything I possibly can. I'm thinking about starting to compost, but I haven't actually done it yet. I'm kind of lazy, but I watched a whole thing on one of those, there's like a green channel, the Green Network or whatever, and I was watching, I was like, you know, composting's a good idea, and I throw out a lot of stuff that could easily be composted, like my coffee grounds and all the rest. I do have like a little compost pile in my backyard of like yard clippings, but I should just start mixing this other crap.
That'd be a great next step. That's awesome.
Yes. Well, and the other step that I took, I've been gardening in the backyard, which is weird, because usually like when in a van, it's hard because you're gone all the time, but especially for the summer, because it gets pretty hot in Florida and dry or whatever, but it's wet a lot of the time too. And it was before, like in June, it usually rains like at 3 o'clock. You can set your clock by it. But this year it was kind of dry, and it was right before we were leaving. I was like, oh, this garden's going to die for sure. But I have someone watering it. It's all good now. And
so what's your favorite thing to put on a salad from your garden?
Well, I have, my sister actually gave me the seeds for this heirloom tomato. It's like a little teeny Mexican tomato, which is pretty good. They're a little spicy though, which is kind of weird. But I haven't really actually harvested much from the garden except for those yet. But I have green peppers and squash and blackberries and bigger tomatoes and green beans. My hope is to make a green bean casserole from the green beans, but I'm not sure if I
Can I come over sometime for dinner?
Yeah, exactly. We'll have some we've got some fresh gardening supplies.
Okay, perfect. Well, I know recycling is a pretty basic answer. Everyone gives me that answer, but what's one thing other than recycling that you do while on tour? I know you have a really hectic schedule, but to, you know, maintain your eco-friendly lifestyle.
Well, you know, the problem I've noticed too, it's and this is what sucks about being on tour, and it's more of a negative thing than a positive thing, and I don't know how to alleviate this, but on a bus, you know, you can't really drink the water out of the bus. Even if you get like a Brita thing, it just seems a little sketchy, you know, because you fill it up at a truck stop and it's in a gross tank.
Exactly.
So, oh, I just thought of something I can do. But what pisses me off though is that we use like bottled water all the time. There's so much bottled water gets used on tour, and even just on our regular tours. When I'm at home, I never get bottled water. A, because most of that is less I mean, it's not regulated, and so it's probably less clean than the water you're getting out of your tap anyway. So I still use a Brita, but I don't even need to. You probably don't even really need to use that because they're pretty strict about the, you know.
Tap water's safe now.
But it's safer than the water that you get. Bottled water a lot of the time is just straight out of the tap, and they're making billions of dollars on it, and it's screwing people all over the world. I watched this whole thing. It's called Flow on Netflix. It's a documentary on like the water problem in the world that's going on. Yeah, for sure. But something I just thought of that nobody probably has ever told you this. I play trombone, and so I shave every day on tour. And on a bus, there's not really like, well, actually there is pretty good hot water now, but like instead of like using the water all the time, I like shave in a cup. So I heat that up in the microwave, and I use, not only do I do that, but I use the same cup for the entire tour. So I used to, when I first started doing it, I would like get a different cup, and you'd run out of cups and all kind of crap like that. And then I was like, why am I getting different cups? So I just put my name on it, and it goes like underneath in the bathroom sink or whatever, and I just use that same cup to shave with the whole tour. That's what I'm doing.
That's awesome. Well, you know, the little things can make a big difference, though.
And I punch our singer Chris in the arm every time he takes like 16 paper towels to like dry his hands and throw them away.
Yeah, well, you got to regulate the rest of the band,
like
right?
You get like the Selecta-size paper towels is important.
Yep. All right, so I'm gonna ask you kind of a funny question. What's the craziest thing that you've seen during the Vans Warped Tour while you've been on stage?
Oh, while on stage?
Yeah. Oh. Craziest thing.
We have some good stuff that we do on stage. I mean, we've been giving kids mohawks on stage every day.
We actually witnessed that in Indianapolis.
Okay.
Yeah, we witnessed
that. Was one of the first. The Indianapolis one was one of the first ones. Like, we brought our clippers out, and we decided there's too many Justin Bieber haircuts out there.
Kids that are willing to.
Yeah, and you know what? We're gonna have to take it one haircut at a time and take this Warped Tour back to its original roots.
Wow, that's awesome.
So that's one thing. That's not that crazy, I guess, because we're initiating it. We crowd surfed an old man to the front that looked like Santa Claus the other day, so he could have a beer with us on stage. He was in the back. I mean, he was probably
Dumbledore maybe
in his 60s and had a big beard. It was great. And then he got on stage and was like fully dancing around and going crazy.
Well,
yeah, so I don't know. Those are a couple good things, I guess.
All right, well, thank you so much, buddy. It's been great talking to you, and it's great to hear that you're, you know, staying environmentally friendly while on tour.
I do way better at home, trust me. But yeah, it is hard to do out here on the road. But if you try, there's a few things you can do to help at least, and you know, everything counts, I guess.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for giving us your time today.
All right, thank you.
She said it's